Peace. Peace. You coolin' with the Completists, man. And my man Spawn Prince.
So
Man,
what's up?
we definitely, man, got a few topics to discuss today. You know what I'm saying? Plus we got some got my man gonna show us, he gonna unveil his haul to us, whatever he's gotten
Always,
the
always.
past, you know what I'm saying, the past few weeks. I mean the past week. So let's get it, man. We were just talking. We're gonna get into this first. Let's talk about it now. We might as well talk about it now. You know what I'm saying?
Elephant in the
Because
room.
yeah, we might as well talk about it now because people are. Let's be honest. Most people that watch my videos or our videos, you know what I'm saying, they watch like the first 5 minutes first. You know what I'm saying, and then click. So we might as well talk about this first. So basically, if anybody who has been following following Superman and following
DC.
Superboy Son of Kal-El run, it was unveiled that John Kent is bisexual. And there has been huge backlash about this. Huge.
Which I don't understand. I understand it, but I don't understand it. I understand it in the aspect of, they want to incorporate more of that into comics. That's fine. I don't understand it as far as using a Kryptonian. The reason I don't understand that aspect is because Superman is the pinnacle of comics. When we think of Golden Age, when you think of anything superhero related, feat wise, story wise, merchandise, anything, you think of Superman. So to have him tied into it where it's his biological son that's like that, it's like is weird. And I get some people like it's cool because he's technically still a new character, but I just personally felt like we could have used the characters we already got. Y'all already have characters, and if y'all did want to use a character that we already got that's not bisexual or whatever, y'all could have changed that way. I feel like they should have used Kara. We could Supergirl. I feel like Supergirl would have been, or Power Girl. Either one of them would have been. I feel like it wouldn't have been as much backlash. It would have blew over a lot easier. People
Yeah.
would have accepted it a lot more. Versus you got the one community over here that's like, oh, I love it, and then you got the other community over here like, oh, well, I hate it. Because ultimately, this is what I think. I think they're gonna retract it. I think they're gonna retract it and they're gonna redo something else about it. Because then
Possible.
they just made Tim Drake bisexual. That didn't
Yeah.
catch nowhere near as much backlash.
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
But this is
And
okay. So let me say this: when I definitely agree though, when you say like, but there are a few problems. Like let's say when people found out that Carol Danvers was gay. First they made her bisexual, then they said no, she full on lesbian. You know what I'm saying? People really stopped liking her because of that. Because not only is she an asshole, you know what I'm saying, for real, but now she's a lesbian. That now that didn't have crazy media coverage, but there was a lot of talks about it on the internet. And my whole thing is that if they would have did something like that for Kara, like I feel like that would have been like their version of Captain Marvel. If that makes sense.
which
You know what
and
I'm
this
saying?
and my thing with that is because you already got Batman in DC.
Yeah, she's gay.
You got Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy,
Yep, gay.
and I'm
Bisexual.
saying these as far as big characters. You know what I'm saying? My thing with the Carol and where I feel like that's confusing with Carol is because in the current Dark Ages book, now is it Dark Ages? I don't know if it's Dark Ages.
I didn't even read the current run. I have to read that
I
tonight.
just I'm trying to
I
figure out
got
where
the
I just
current
read
issue.
it. I'm trying to figure out where I just read that. But she got her and Tony Stark got a kid. So it's like, what's going on here? What are y'all doing? It's like,
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm starting to really feel like this. like I'm a heterosexual man. I love women. And I kind of feel like the world is kind of trying to morph into a more like gender fluid state.
I feel like it's just more of a when it comes to comics, and I think the reason they're implemented the way they're doing it, as far as using it for big characters or characters that's more known, is to get people attention and to bring that awareness and to grab people's attention about that by far. Because I mean, like I said, you got hundreds of characters that's already like that. You know what I'm saying? Midnight and what's the name are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but they like, oh well, we do this. People like this character. People read this or people buy this. Let's do this. And I felt like they chose John because they couldn't do Kyle.
Yeah.
And they did Clark. It's like, nah.
It's just not him.
It's not him. It's really not John either if you actually followed any of his stories, but
I mean, listen, me personally, from following the stories and reading like Superboy and Robin, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not gonna say that I got gay vibes from John, because like you said, you really don't sense that. But honestly, for me, I feel like it was not surprising at all.
it didn't surprise me, no.
It didn't surprise me at all. It actually made a lot of sense because of just the way, if you just really think of how Clark is and how Lois is, you literally look at John, you know what I'm saying, and that's what you see. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you see. That's who he is, and he really has a lot more of his mom in him than Clark. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. You know, but he has that hero, you know what I mean, that promise, you know what I'm saying, that Clark won't, you know what I'm saying, and that he definitely can be the next Superman, and he will be, you know what I mean. So I don't think it's a problem, but I do understand where both sides are coming with.
I definitely see where both sides is coming from.
Yeah, I see where both sides are coming from, because I mean, at the end of the day, this is business. You know what I mean? And the way that they implementing a lot of stuff into these shows and movies, you know, or a lot of the, you know, homosexual stuff that they, you know, have been, you know, not pushing, but like putting into shows, you know, trying to get more awareness of it and give them more of an identity and things of that nature. You know, it is what it is. I don't necessarily feel like it's something being forced. I kind of feel like it's just something that was an opportunity for them, I guess. You know, because at the end of the day, like we both said, John is technically a new character for real.
Yeah, when you really think about it, he is still technically a brand new character.
He don't have a lot of content.
He's only been what here 2 years, 3 years.
Right, like you know what I'm saying.
They made him a little right before they made Batman Who Laughs.
Like right, so like you know what I mean. Like he has time to grow, and dude's an alien, man. Dude, motherfucker is the most powerful.
My thing is, why would you? Here's my thing. He technically what, a teenager now. It's like why would y'all care? And all of y'all about to be watching and reading and trying to catch up on Invincible anyway.
And that's
all the Invincible fanboys.
And that's the other point that I made as well. Because I said, if anything, you know what I mean, I'm going to be more just upset about the fact, you know, that they've been putting more sex in movies and TV shows, you know, that really shouldn't be there. Because, I mean, in my honest opinion, sex scenes don't really do nothing for the story unless it actually does have something to do with the story. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise it's really baseless and it doesn't have no real positive effect on the story.
They gotta have some fan service in there, man.
Right, you know what I'm saying? That's really all it is, you know. And I feel like they, you know, with comic books as well, you have to check the censor tag on that comic book, because you know most of these comics ain't for kids. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why we was kids reading comic books was because our parents thought that they were for kids. You know what I'm saying? They didn't.
And
Our
not all,
parents didn't. Our
and not
parents
all of
didn't
them
watch
are,
cartoons.
and not
You feel
all
what
of
I'm
them are
saying?
for kids. That's for sure.
Exactly. And our parents thought that shit because they were cartoons, and our parents didn't watch cartoons. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? That's not what our people did. You know what I'm saying? We did that, and our generation does that. But our generation before that, they didn't do that shit, so they let us do it. That's the only reason why we did it as kids. Now our generation needs to need to set the tone. You know what I'm saying, and censor these kids when it comes to the shit, because we know, even when it comes to cartoon animations that be so-called TV-14 and you know what I'm saying, just and even has PG in it. If it has parental guardian in that shit, you need to be watching it with your child. Like, it's just that simple. You know what I mean? And people don't really take that serious. But at the end of the day, I know. I mean, I'm digging the story. I'm digging where it's going. Um, and it's not. And people, let me also say this: the story is not revolving around the fact that he's bisexual. By the way, let me just let people know that now. It does not revolve around the fact he's bisexual. That was just one part of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's following Aqualad.
Right, and Aqualad has been he came out like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
So, my thing on it is, like I said, I just feel like, I guess,
And he's black.
I
And
just feel like
motherfuckers
there's
didn't make no fuss
awareness and
about that.
no fuss. There was absolutely no fuss about him or Batwoman.
None.
Just saying. Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy been like this since the 90s. Just saying. They got a whole series together
We
called
just
Harley
being
and
real.
Poison Ivy. It's like, 12-book miniseries, expensive as hell, but the whole book is about pretty much about their relationship. The
Yep.
whole series. Gotham Sirens, when they incorporated Catwoman into the series. Just,
Listen,
everybody's
man.
they
They don't want to hear it.
don't want to hear it.
But I will say again before we get to your unveiling that I do understand both sides. But I do feel like people are going too ham, and a lot of people don't even read the comics that are mad. A lot of people that are mad don't read the shit at all. They just see Superman and Superboy, and then they
And they got
say,
upset.
right, and then got upset. Y'all don't even know what's going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm not saying that it was warranted, like it needed to happen, but I'm not surprised that it happened.
What was it?
That's really, it kind of fits John, if you ask me.
So while we are on that subject, let's get into some comic news and some upcoming reads. My upcoming recommended reads and books to be looking out for in the months of December, well, the end of October, going into November and December. Going into November, there is a Superman title called The World of Krypton. It's basically, I guess, just we're gonna see how a utopia, the utopia of Krypton, and see how life was on Krypton with
That sounds
Superman's
crazy.
parents. So definitely should be an interesting read for any Superman fans out there.
You know it, the goat. The goat.
Getting into the other news, like I said next last week, other DC books to be looking out for upcoming of October is the DC versus Vampires. I will highly recommend it. I'll be reading it and collecting it myself. Coming into November, you will be getting the Dark Knight Steel, written by Tom Taylor, who is the author and writer of Deceased and Dark Ages over in Marvel. So it's pretty sure it's going to be a nice 12-book good read. He hasn't disappointed so far. And then December 1st, the Marvel, I don't know if it's a mini-series or an event, but Devil's Reign is dropping December 1st. The art looks good. I have a huge interest in that story. I don't know, when Marvel do mini-series or like small events like that, they usually hit hard. So definitely should be fun to be looking out for that. I'm not a big Daredevil fan, by no means. I've never owned a Daredevil aside from his first appearance, really.
Hey, this
And it's
current
like,
Daredevil run has been crazy.
so should be interesting to see.
That man Murdoch.
Should be interesting to see.
Daredevil was definitely
Give me a second, man. Hold on.
no problem. It's crazy because when we're talking about these upcoming you know, there's a lot of things besides comic books and, you know, that's coming out, you know what I mean? There's some mangas coming out as well.
I heard manga.
Yeah, there's some mangas, man, that Fire Force, man, they doing the last arc, you know, the final arc of the story, you know what I mean? They finally writing it out.
I'm good.
You know what's funny about Fire Force? Fire Force is definitely a creative ass concept. But my only thing is that it kind of gets repetitive, and then
To me, it looks repetitive.
Yeah, it gets repetitive with the fire. You know what I'm saying?
I watched 4 episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot of fire, but you know the shit is definitely funny though, and it's definitely a good story. You know what I mean?
I watched 4 episodes and was like, yeah, I'm straight.
I think his name is Sharon or Sharon. That boy a dog.
I'm good, bro.
Shango, he a dog.
I'm good.
Ogun, whatever. That nigga a dog.
I'm good.
But either way, man, go ahead back to your unveiling, brother.
Let's get into the unveiling now. Of course, I'm gonna go into DC. Not a lot of DC this week. Like I said, I'm not reading my current Green Lantern run just because I'm not liking the artwork and I'm not enjoying the art. I mean, the story itself. I'm not enjoying the writing of it at all, so I'm not picking it up. But I did pick up Hardwire number 2. Well, no, number 2, right? Yes, number 2. Milestone. I like the '90s Milestone. They're killing it again. So this was definitely a must-have.
That should look fresh.
It does. The I Am Batman number 2. I recommended the read of this at one point. I'ma still recommend it.
Hey man, I have a question. Is his face is covered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is?
He black.
I thought so.
He's black.
So you farther along in the story than me. Has he ever mentioned the fact that he wears that mask because he's black?
Yes. In the first issue.
In the first issue.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's all I needed to know, sir.
Yep. What I'm liking about our new Batman is think of the brutality of Thomas Wayne from Earth 2, just without the guns.
Just without the guns.
Just without the guns. You
so
know,
he's basically better than Bruce Wayne.
He has no problem with the breaking of bones, or oh, this guy fell off the top of a building, let me shoot a grapple and try and catch him. No, it's like, all right, bye. Like, see you.
Yeah, so, he ain't better than Bruce Wayne yet.
He ain't there yet. No, he ain't there yet. And speaking of that, on the back of the comic, ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget that the series is getting ready to start.
Yes.
So, yeah.
We own
do not forget that.
We own it.
Let's get into the Marvel now. I'm completed. I'm caught up. Got all 50 of them. I'm pleased with having all 50 of them. All 50 of them first print. Y'all know it was coming. I wasn't expecting it. But the last Immortal Hulk 50 has come out. It is a
Got it.
phenomenal read. It is a thick book, as y'all can see.
Yeah, I see it. I thought it
It
was a
is
damn
a
trade.
it is a thick issue, and I'll give for people that's like, oh, why should I read that? Why should I pick that up? I can go ahead and reveal it to y'all for y'all that don't know. Where is it at? As soon as I find it, oh, it's back here. There we go. For y'all that don't know and did not catch it or see it or read the book, we're gonna open it up to the one panel to show you the grand entrance of Marvel's One Above All made an
One
appearance
above all.
in Immortal Hulk, which is awesome because we don't hardly. When the last time we saw him? When was the last time you seen the One Above All in a modern day book?
Right. Never.
Like maybe I think with the
Once.
'90s, maybe
I
not even
think
the
the last
'90s.
time. Yeah, I
I
think the
think it was like the
last time.
'70s.
Yeah, I think the last time we saw the one above all is when Thanos became the one above all. Like,
Probably.
and that was not even. I don't even think was
That
that
was in
even
modern
canon.
though.
Was that even canon?
No, that was not. That wasn't canon. This is. That's the thing. This
Yeah,
appearance is canon.
exactly.
Immortal Hulk is,
Mortal
canon
Hulk has been.
storyline.
Mortal Hulk is great. It won that award for a reason, man.
People sleeping on it. I mean, you couldn't have too bad when you got Alex Ross as the cover artist. You got Al Hewin writing it. You can't. It can't be too bad. A lot of people
Alex
slept
Ross.
on Al. You know,
Alex Ross is an illustrator. For those who don't know, he is an illustrator for comic book companies all
all of
over
them.
the world.
All
All
of
of
them.
them.
All
He
of them.
does illustrations for everybody.
If the Alex Ross covers wasn't enough to grab you, because I mean, to some degree, you gotta think of it as comic fans to a small portion. You walk into the comic shop, you see a cover, and be like, "Oh, that looks like a cool cover. I'm gonna get that book." Kind of like that variant of the Spider-Man that I got with the shoes on it. It's just a cool book, It's like I want this. This is sweet as hell. So definitely. Now I'm gonna go into some back issues, seeing as how that was all I got from this Wednesday. Those 3 books. For y'all that didn't know or don't know, I do have a favorite Marvel team. Now, a lot of people say Avengers. I said the Defenders is one of them. They're not my number one though, but they are one of my favorite teams. X-Men is in there. People like them. Heroes for Hire, some duos in there too. But my favorite overall team is got to be the Illuminati. New
The
Avengers.
Illuminati is definitely a great team.
I mean, the team, the cover, the book, it just looks powerful.
It's right. These are the most powerful minds on the planet.
Just look it. So I picked up this whole mini series. Not only I picked up this whole mini series in a beautiful condition, at that, the whole thing, and I'm happy to own the individuals of them because the trade is so hard to find.
That shit. Ooh, that would look so dope. Ooh.
The trade is so hard to find.
Yeah, man, these illustrations is like movie posters.
And it's a really good read, people. For y'all that didn't read it, it's only 5 books, For y'all that people that never read it, never saw it, like, oh, that's old, but some of the old stuff is some of the best stuff.
Right. Fact.
Then we go into, of course, I'm gonna have one big stack in my haul. Always gonna have at least one.
That
But I
looks
picked
like
up
that look
Bronze
like a
Age
batch
Hulk.
of bonds, man. You
I picked
said
up
Bronze Age?
I picked up a bunch of Bronze Age Hulk, starting at issues 205. So some early Bronze Age Hulk, basically.
This man got all the Hulk shit.
Just when he's just as savage and rage enough. This one I really enjoyed, which is the Exorbitant Man and Hulk. which is Zorba Man, does. I felt like he should have had an appearance in at least one Thor movie. Just saying, which would have been pretty sweet. But you know, but yeah, I just a bunch of Bronze Age Hulk. I'm gonna kind of breeze through these because I mean, you know, a lot of people they like. I personally think Silver Age and Bronze Age Hulk was the best one. I like to discover too. Hulk, Rhino, and Doc Samson. A lot of people,
Was
I
that
think they just.
Rhino?
It was. It was.
Wow.
Yes, that was.
That was probably a
That,
decent fight.
that was Rhino. It was more of a Rhino versus Doc Samson than the actual Hulk, but you know,
Okay.
people
Still be a
slept on
good fight.
Doc. Now here's a Hulk versus Samson.
They done fought so many. They done fought a few times. I ain't gonna say so many. They done fought.
That's the other beauty I love about Bronze Age Hulk is that he literally got into it and threw them hands with everybody.
Everybody.
Teammates, everybody. I ain't trying to hit none of that.
Right.
Throw to you,
Like,
throw them,
you don't agree?
throw them.
Right.
What? Throw these. So
You
that's
said
why
there's no food?
that's why I really loved it. Then we get into my stack of keys. And the keys for this week are some more Hawks. I picked up some early, beautiful copies of Tales of Astonishing.
I got some Star Wars joints I want to show.
This is the first new Ant-Man when Giant Man had a new outfit.
I like that design. I
A
like his helmet.
A lot of people forgot about that design.
I like his helmet.
But y'all know how I'm getting down with the Tales of Astonish. Early Bronze Age Hulk. It's just really. It's just these are just really fun reads, man. I wasn't around. I wasn't born when these books came out because these is the early '80s. I'm the end of the '80s, but like these are just fun, man. They are really like just fun reads, and I can honestly see reading this stuff. I can see why Marvel held on to its popularity and why people fell in love with the characters that they do.
They really had some great writing, bro.
They did. Let's get into the big key. My biggest key of the week is that first encounter, first fight with the Silver Surfer.
Man, hell to the yes.
And I had to get it because that's actually a little sub thing that I'm doing where I'm actually just trying to collect the Incredibles Hulk's first key fight. So of course I need his first fight with Thor, first fight with Thane, first fight with Red Hulk. I just like all his key fights. First one with Wolverine, of course, will be Hulk 181, which I will have at some point. Even if I get it in a reprint, I'm gonna have it. Then my last book, and it's only one. And I picked the trade up because not all of my all came, but for what did. Yeah.
Ooh, got it.
I picked it up. I told y'all that I would. I picked it up in trade.
Department of Truth.
First 5 issues by James Tynion. For people that don't know, James Tynion is current writer of Batman and the other Image title, Something is Killing the Children. And this is as good as everybody is claiming it to be. It lived up to its name. I got into it and went through it with no hopes or high hopes. I had no expectations. I was like, people hype it up, so I'm just like, may not be as good as it is. But it's rare that I give a book a 5 out of 5. That's definitely one of them. So I rarely give a book a 5 out of 5. But between that and this Immortal Hulk, we're both this week, both 5 out of 5 for me. Both of them.
Immortal Hulk, issue 50, and Department of Truth, issues 1 through 5.
And Just so y'all know. For y'all to know. Donnie Cates is taking over writing for the Hulk.
That's crazy.
So the new Hulk series coming out will be written by Donnie, and the new Venom series is going to be written by Al Hume, who wrote
Okay.
all of Immortal Hulk. So the two top Marvel writers are just swapping books. Just swapping books.
Beautiful.
That's it for me this week, man.
Man, you got all the Hulk shit.
I'm trying, man.
All right, man.
I'm
I'm
trying.
a like I said. So this week my haul, you know, what I'm saying, is late. So, you know, what can you do? So I am instead going to show some Star Wars comic books. And give me a second. I gotta go.
Mm-hmm. Man, this Immortal Hulk was so good. It's definitely of hell and death, man. You gotta reread it. You gotta read that multiple times. What are we gonna do? Okay. All of these. Wait.
All right. All right. First, I want to start off with a lot of the comic books that I have were published by Marvel and Dark Horse.
Dark Horse do got some Star Wars, don't they?
Yep. So the first one I'm going to show off is my Star Wars number 15.
Is that a? Oh, I thought that was a Ross cover. That's beautiful though.
Yeah, man.
Is that current or is that back issue?
Hmm?
That's current or back issue?
No, this current. No,
Okay.
back issue. Back issue. And hold on, wait. Yep, back issue. And this one is Rogue One.
Man, who illustrates their stuff? Man, it doesn't look so like a cover of a novel.
Yeah, man, this shit dope. They got one with Thrawn on it too. And this one by Dark Horse, I actually got like 4 of them in here. But this is number 1.
So how big of a Star Wars fan would you say you are?
I'm probably mid-tier.
Okay.
And these are just basically photographs of the story. You know what I'm saying? No real artwork. You know what I'm saying? But still great art. You know what I'm saying?
So they took.
The story,
okay. They took. I was about to say. So they took shots from the movie and made the covers.
Yeah.
So is the story actually the movie, or is those like in between, like some side stories?
It's still they show you some side stuff, like, you know, if you was playing a video game or something like that.
Okay.
You know, but mainly, yeah, it was showing you the story of episodes 1. You know, and that's just, just this. And that's just a whole series 1 through 4. The next one is Darth Vader.
Vader series have been doing well for a while now.
Yeah, man. I gotta get the rest of this series.
Vader has been doing really well. A lot of people don't understand it. Just like what's the other one that's out right now? High Republic is
Yeah.
doing really well.
Great. It's doing good, man. I'm enjoying it. The next one I have is the Bounty Hunter series by Dark Horse. The Star Wars Bounty Hunter series.
They had a bounty hunter over there, so the bounty hunter stuff ain't new.
Nah.
I
This
thought the
is
bounty hunter stuff was new.
I have the original Mandalorian novel.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought this was all like new.
This
I
one,
thought because I was for a while I'm thinking only what's his name Baba and his dad. I thought Django. I thought they was the only bounty hunters.
nope. There's a whole storyline for them.
Apparently
And I
so. I
got
mean,
this,
how else could they have reward?
and I got the Star Wars Lego joint edition.
You gotta enjoy the miscellaneousness of something like that.
Yeah, man.
You gotta enjoy those.
For real. But yeah, like if I was to say, yeah, I'm a stand though. Like anytime some Star Wars shit hit the scene, I'm on it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
more of a I'm a definitely a low tier. When the Star Wars conversation sparks up, I usually just listen.
Yeah, I can have a discussion. Like I could even talk about a few books, but there's so many books. You know what I'm saying? So many Star Wars books, so many writers that
Like I
wrote.
said, I'm
I
low
ain't
tier.
gonna
And
read all of
the
them.
only stuff I can probably have a conversation about is the old Republic stuff with Raven and Bane. That's about it because that's the only stuff I read. I mean, I saw the movies, but I mean, people don't tend to talk about the movies like that. They
Yeah, and
tend to
if they
talking about
do,
the
and if they
books
are
more.
talking about the movie, they like dismantling and trying to figure out what's wrong with it and shit. Like
Hmm.
and that'd be the problem. Like people can't ever like accept and love shit for what it is. Like Star Wars wasn't loved because it was, what I'm saying, fucking accurate. That's not why Star Wars was, what I'm saying, loved, dude.
It was a science fiction movie that gave you another world. That's no different than the people that love like Lord of the Rings and being in that fantasy world. It's no different.
Exactly. It's just it
And that's
was
what I tell
risky.
people. The fan bases are totally different. You don't have anybody with Lord of the
Definitely.
Rings and Harry Potter trying to dismantle their movies and shit on their movies like you do the Star Wars fan base.
It's annoying.
Very.
Like they make you not really enjoy or appreciate the last three films that they made for The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens and things like that. They made it not enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I get it. They messed up. You know what I'm saying, on a lot. They dropped the ball on a few things. You know what I mean? But it's still Star Wars, bro.
I
Like,
enjoyed Mandalorian.
yeah, The Mandalorian is great. And by the way, since while we're talking about The Mandalorian, they just started filming season 3 of The Mandalorian, so we on go. We getting Boba Fett. We getting the Book of Boba
Book of
Fett.
Baba, yeah.
We getting the Book of Boba Fett in December, and they just started filming The Mandalorian like yesterday. Or they probably did it way before that, but they announced it, you know what I'm saying, yesterday.
Yeah, because I didn't enjoy Rogue One. I didn't enjoy the last 2 or 3 movies. But Mandalorian hit, and I was like, all right.
Rogue One was definitely different, man, because it just showed you everything that happened, you know what I mean? Like,
Which one of them was it when Vader showed up with his infamous elevator scene?
that was the end of Rogue One.
Okay. That was like the only thing I liked about it. That was literally the only thing I liked about the movie, man. I sat through that whole movie and was like, okay.
Hey, but that was the best part of the movie, though. I mean, nobody can deny that.
That was the best part of the movie. Like, man, listen. You don't want to be in an elevator with no Skywalker.
I'm gonna watch that when I get done with this show, man. I'm gonna
I think
watch
I'm
that
gonna
scene.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and watch both. I'm gonna watch
The
Vader's
Luke
and Luke's.
and Luke's. All right,
I'm gonna
you
watch
got
both.
to.
I'm gonna think I'm gonna watch both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but those was my choices. I just wanted to show y'all that Star Wars got some content out here. You know,
A lot of
there's
content.
a
There's a
lot of
lot of
content.
books.
And and we discussed High Republic already on the show, and the Bounty Hunter series and the Darth Vader series. You know, I even have the original Star Wars, like number 1 through 7. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think like 60 or something like that. I got to get that collection, but I got like 1 through 7. And like, I love Star Wars, man. There's a lot of content out here. Like, literally anything you want to read, whatever genre you like, with anything you like, it doesn't matter what it is. You can find a comic book or a manga that has it. You know what I'm saying? That has something to do with it.
I was in my comic shop and I saw that they had the Diary of Anne Frank illustrated in comic book form. So come on now, y'all.
Man, that's believable as hell. They got the Bible. They got the Bible in fucking comic book form, bro.
Come on now. They got what is it called? The Michael Jackson Last Dance or something like that illustrated into a comic book. I'm like, they got Prince's Purple Rain illustrated into a comic book.
Man, dude,
the
they got
Pride
everything.
and Prejudice. It was like, come on now. The Color Purple. I was like, wow. All of it. You can
get it all in graphic novel form.
You can get it all, yo. Y'all gotta, man, look, let me know what y'all read, man, or give me y'all recommended reads. Like I said, all of my stuff didn't come. Because I did when I haven't read it, but I did go ahead and I ordered Prodigy with your boy Edison. I also ordered Bitter Roots and Excellence, and I got a few other things on there that I ordered for myself that I'm interested in reading. So next week's or next week's show should be lit because I mean this weekend, Motor City Comic Con, people. Motor City. We just had New York. Now we got Motor City. So
man, I wish I could be there, bro, because we could have definitely made a show for that.
Starting tomorrow, Motor City Comic Con. I haven't made the official decision about whether I'm even going, simply because I'm really, not really seeing a reason to go. Honestly,
that's just go to show your face.
Yeah, I should, but it ain't like you can see your face since how you gotta have a mask on and stuff like that. And it's like there's so much stuff that because of how the pandemic hit, the show ain't gonna be like what it used to be. It's not gonna be. It pretty much they didn't pretty much took away everything, and now it's solely strictly so focused right back onto the comics, which I'm fine with. But it's just not gonna feel like it when you don't have everything else as well, like the video games, the cosplay, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I feel like by going to a show after the pandemic, I feel like I told people, I said it seemed like everybody was selling their collections. And that's why I was able to acquire so much. But I seem like going to a show, I feel like they'll be taxing a little more than what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I can see that.
And that's just how my mindset works. I might pop in and show my face, see if I can find a couple key books, some more Tales to Astonish, because that's pretty much my main focus, seeing as how that for me, I'm very pleased with myself that I now own every single issue of Spawn from issues 1 all the way to 322.
Y'all has been talking about that shit since niggas met.
Ever since we met, I've been trying to complete that run. I've been trying to complete that series, and I am current. I am not missing any Spawn issues. I have no holes to fill for Spawn. I don't have to go into a comic shop and look through a Spawn back issue box no more. I'm current. I have every issue. I have every variant. I have every cover. I have every first appearance, every first death, every revival. If it's Spawn related, I own it. and I'm pleased with that. So if I was to go
Spawn
to a
Prince.
show,
No, the Spawn King.
right?
Change the name, nigga.
We know he king. He
Nah, he the
king.
god, man. He the
Yeah,
god.
that too.
That's different, man.
Tales of Astonish is where I'm working on though. This is what I'm really gonna work. This is about to be my focus now. As far as books, that I feel like it'll be a fun collection. Acquiring all Hawk's infamous rage moments before manga was a thing and everybody was having their rage moments. Hawk is the embodiment of that. To get pissed off and transform into something else.
Yeah.
That's always been his thing.
He also teaches us that when we are angry, that we need to learn how to breathe.
And how to control it, because that's really all he has. That's really all his books are, is therapeutic about
It's about anger management.
It's about anger management. Because people don't realize that, but that anger management was a big deal back in the 60s and 70s for them people. That was real big, going through recessions and plants and coke, and it was anger management was a big thing.
Bruh, the liquor was straight alcohol,
man, straight gas, right to the lungs.
Man, but see, like everything about comic books, man, and things about stories, there's supposed to be some type of message. You know what I'm saying? There has to be at least a one word, or just a phrase or something that you could say just about that story. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you should be able to do that.
Leave a comment below. And even y'all don't leave a comment below, y'all can inbox me, hit me up, say, hey Terry, check this book up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gave me that recommended of the Sinister Wars. I read it. I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Sinister Wars for what it was. It was a good book. So like I said though, my week this week, people read Department of Truth. This is my recommended read for this week. If you haven't read it, or if you already did or collected it, if you're not up on, get up on. It's my recommended read. I definitely see some awards for that book coming up. Definitely.
Well, that's the end of our show, y'all. I don't have no recommendations for today except for the same ones. Read Bitterroot, read Excellence, and read Divinity. Them are my recommendations for right now. I don't have any recommendations that for anything current or new right now because I'm still working on my list. So I got y'all next show for real. We're gonna do a show next week. I got y'all. We're gonna have way more in store. But either way, thank y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself. Love your family. Remember, don't stress about the things you can't control. And peace, man. Have a good night.
Peace.
Ashe. All right, brother.
All right, bro.